All right, so once again, I'm live. This is the Action Artist, because I am an action artist. And I am burning the midnight oil working on my comic book, man, because that's how you get this done. And I've run into a problem, but it's an opportunity for me to show you how I'm going to fix it. All right. So first off, I've finished this off a little more, and you can see his gauntlets. I went with like full, like basically gloves. Like he's got basically, sectional basically gloves with, and then he's got they're basically like chisels, almost like 3 chisels on each glove. So I wanted to keep the consistency for because that's what he's wearing right here in this picture. You can see his gauntlets. That's what he's wearing. They're basically gloves. So I went with that, and that looks better now. So now I had to change this, but this I can show you this now. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. I can't really fix this till Monday. I mean, I could fix it, but I'd be making more work for myself, and I don't want to do that. I'll just wait till Monday, and I'm going to use a photocopier, and I'm going to cut and paste, because that's what, I'm going to make basically. I'll show you here in a second. So here's my rough draft of my comic book. I did this like a year ago. So here he is. So here's like here he is standing in line behind the cop. Here's the old one. And I didn't like that gauntlet. So like I said, I'm changing everything. So here's his new gauntlet right there. So there's the new gauntlet. Looks pretty cool. Here he is. He's kind of peering at the corrupt police officer. If you didn't watch my last video, he catches up with a police officer that helped frame him, and it's like he's a bad cop. Believe me, it's a cop that sells drugs. You know what I mean? He pushes drugs. He runs like prostitute rings and stuff like that, and he looks friendly, but he's not. So anyway, here's how this goes. This is how I had it before. Then here you see I squashed this panel where he hits the cop in here at the time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make an angled panel like this, and I'm going to shrink these two down Monday on the photocopier. I'm not going to do it tomorrow because I don't feel like it. I'll do it Monday. So I'll probably do it at work, and I'm going to shrink these two down and put them up here, and then I'm going to have all this space right here, and I'm going to redo this panel where he hits the cop bigger in that space. Another thing I've changed, and I'll show you, is this scene right here where he's this is okay. I'm going to work on it some more. I'm going to shade the car. This scene I'm just going to work on some more because it's all right. This is a very boring angle, so I've changed this page around. Here he is now and you can see he's got the gloves on, and he's getting the milk. So basically, I'm just gonna keep that old frame. This right here is gonna go up here, and I might shrink it down a little bit, but yeah, it's gonna go up there. I'm just gonna rework it, and then basically, that's basically That's basically this panel smaller. So now I'll have a nice big, so you'll see him, you know, in his full, you know, you'll see him from head to toe. You know, you'll see like some shelves and stuff behind him because he's in like a little market. And then right here, I'll show you another thing that I changed. I don't like this. I never liked this panel. It was a pain in the ass to draw. But right here where he's macing the cop. All right, the cop's going for his gun. I've decided to change that and make it more interesting. So now there he is, and you can see this is why it took him so long to make his armor, and this is why he's called Nutjob. So you see these two little, I don't know, little like hoses that are mounted into his gauntlets on the up you know above the wrist, and he just tilts his fist down, and mace comes out, and here's the police officer's hair, you know. And I'll just have him saying something like, hand off your gun, get your hand off your gun, or something like that. So he's standing over the cop. So you'll see, so here he's standing over the cop like that. I'll show you this. So here he's standing over the cop, and he's remembering everything that happened to him in the courts and everything when he got railroaded. Cop's on the ground, and this is after he hits the cop. Then here he is. Then he's just like, get your hand off your gun, maces him. Then up here, and these panels aren't changing because I really like them. Up here is just these three panels. I can just cut and paste them. I don't even have to change them really. Where he's just like, is that mace? And then Nutjob kicks him in the face with the heel of his boot, and he's just like, why are you doing this to me? You know what I mean? And then from there, and then I change. See, here's where I had a consistency. I mean, that's not bad, but it's real cartoony all of a sudden, you know, and you can't see the other part of his jaw, and it doesn't look like the same character. So I changed that. There he is right there. So now that looks a lot more better. It's more anatomically correct. It's more comic bookish. So, you know, he's just all like, get your hand, you know, he's just like, hand off your gun, you know. Then the cop's like, is that, and then he's like, then the cop's just like, is that mace? And he's just like, he's just like, bam, kicks him. Just like, whomp. Some picture of Batman sound effect or something. And then here he is, you know, basically, you know, here he is right here. After he's all maced, and he just got kicked. He just got kicked in the face, basically. And then basically this is, and here I'm gonna have blood splattering up to probably out of the panel onto, you know, some blood splattering, so you know what's going. So you can tell, you know what I mean, that I'm pretty much yeah. And then he hits the cop a few times, and then he takes off basically. That this is going to be a double page spread. You'll see this, and then you'll see like then you'll turn the page, and you'll see like all this up in the corner, you know, on one side of the page, and then this will be a double page spread of him jumping over this wall, all like, you know, dramatic, more foreshortened with his foot coming at you. And I'll probably, you know, I'll do all this on air, and then right here, I'm gonna change this around. You're gonna this panel you'll see a little bit bigger, where he jumps down onto these train tracks. I got to enlarge that, and then I'll be able to do more detail. And you know, and then this bridge right here is gonna take up almost this whole page, and you're gonna see him running down the train tracks. And then basically I'm going to turn this into 2 pages, and then on the next page you'll see him coming into his little abandoned, you know, I'll probably show the abandoned building where he lives, and from the outside, and then I'll show him come in. I'll show him come in the door, and then I'll show him taking his clothes off, and you'll see he's got like 3 sets of armor basically. He's got, this is the armor he wears under his clothes right there. Here's this part, the detectives are, you know, he's like, this is the old comic book, but yeah, I'm changing the detective because it's like, I don't want to rip off Todd McFarlane, and this guy looks too much like the detective from Todd McFarlane. So I'll probably change him. Here's another corrupt cop. He's the head of you know, he's like the head detective. He's like, you know, the inspector basically. This guy's like, you know, right under him in homicide basically, and he's handing him the photos from the grocery store, and he's looking at the pictures of the gauntlets enlarged on the camera. You know what I mean, or something like that. I don't know, and then you know, and then here comes the doctor, and the doctor basically is just like, yeah, you know, his jaws, you know, the doctor looks a little like Jeffrey Dahmer, but maybe I'll give him a little, I don't know, maybe I'll make him balding. Maybe I'll make the doctor balding or something, so he doesn't look so much like Jeffrey Dahmer. And the doctor is like, he has a fractured skull, broken nose, broken jaw, and a shattered eye socket. We're basically going to have to staple his head together. That's what happens to the cop, and reconstruct his entire face. I'd like to talk, but I have a lot of work to do. That's what the doctor says. And then the detective's just kind of like over here. He's just like this. He's like this. He's like, this will only get worse. He says, yeah. And then it ends on this page where he's up on an abandoned building somewhere. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm not. I don't think this is going to be. Or maybe it will. Maybe I'll do another. Maybe I'll redo this picture in his new armor, and just kind of use this, and it'll save me time. And then here, oh, here's a little reveal. This cop's not human. See that? And this detective doesn't know it. The head detective doesn't know it, but this guy's not human. And that comes into play later. So there's that. And anyway, so yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope it's helping somebody make comic books, you know, better. And thanks for watching.